Okay, welcome back. If you've just joined us, we are talking about enslavement of Africans in Libya. And I'm here with Suala from Africa Life Matters. We have talked a bit about Africa and the part it needs to be playing in this, because a lot of energy seems to be going out to the West and what they're not doing. Isn't that a bit unfair? What do the Africans in themselves need to do in 2017 to be able to contain their citizens, if I may use that word?
Yes, I think you're totally right. We can't just put the blame on the West because, we're if you're trying to say, well, we don't need you anymore, or, we don't need the colonial masters, why is the blame always on them? So, African leaders need to come together to sort out this issue, whether it's creating more jobs, finding out what the issues are. But, when you're talking about leaders, it's very difficult for them to have any dialogue about matters that don't really are not on their priority list. So in that case, Africans themselves need to come together, whether it's in the diaspora, because it doesn't matter how much money you have. If your brother is being enslaved, somebody's looking at you. That could be you. That could be someone in your family. So how do you feel? I mean, I don't even feel sympathy. I feel empathy when I watch that, because it's somebody that looks like me. It's somebody that is of my blood, of my heritage. So if we don't do something now, it's just going to continue and continue and continue. So my focus, as in my little initiative inside Africa Lives Matter, is for people from the diaspora to go back, like I said. But people in Africa as well need to come together. I mean, we're quite tribal, If it's an Igbo problem, the Yorubas don't want to know. If it's an Ijaw problem, it's got nothing to do with the Hausas. Do you know what I mean? We have this kind of mentality, which I don't know if that's something that's going to eradicate in my lifetime, because, my grandfather is still alive, and there's this, he still remembers the Biafra War and all of this kind of stuff. So, but it was amazing. There were actually some Nigerians with Biafra flag at the march. I don't know if you saw them, but I went to go and speak with them, and they themselves were a bit separatist, please don't come after me. But, they were themselves, we want Biafra back and everything. Okay, fine. But when it comes to an issue that is affecting all of us, I think we all need to come together and forget about these divides and address the issues, I don't know what percentage of the 5,000 people or what tribes they came from. I don't care. They're Africans as far as I'm concerned, and they need help, and they should not be enslaved.
Okay. If you to advise the government of Africa now, what are the sort of things you would think they need to be looking at in order for us to begin to take the right steps?
Well, there is an African Union, and they need to come together and have a dialogue about this slavery. I think they have done. I think the Libyan representative did address the African Union, but I don't know steps going forward. I know there's some money that has been pledged by the European Union, but again, just throwing money at a situation is no good as well. Kofi and I do plan to go to the UN and have a dialogue with them and give them our thoughts on how things could be made better, and how to help the people that are currently still enslaved there. First of all, repatriate the people. So if they don't want to go back to their respective countries, then other African countries should be able to take them on. I think Niger and Chad are taking in some migrants. But more African countries need to step up. Ghana needs to step up. Togo needs to step up. All the other, Congo or whatever, needs to step up. But obviously from the migrants' perspective, them going. I mean, I heard one of them saying, "Well, I would rather die than go back to my country." Why? Why is that? Why would they say that?
Well, that leads very nicely to my next question: the mindset of the people, the African people themselves, particularly those back in Africa. It needs to be changed. Where do we start from?
I think there is a bit of a change from what I've seen. The old mentality of, West is best, and, we're all going to, bow down to Europe and stuff like that. I don't know if you saw the interview with, I can't remember which minister it was now, but the French president.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and he really stood up for himself and said we don't really need to rely on France anymore and all of this, which is brilliant. More leaders need to step up and say that, not in a hostile way, like Mugabe did, but in a general, getting into a general dialogue about how do we move forward, how do we make Africa great, how do we empower the people, because that's what it boils down to. It's letting the people have their self-esteem to know, yes, I am a proud African. I want to stay here. I want to develop my country. I will fight for my country, and all this corruption needs to be eradicated. From the people in power.
Okay. Some people would say that the relationship between Africa and the so-called Western world makes it very difficult for us to have that independence that we so much require.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Well, I think that's because we have this debt hanging on over our necks. This debt, the Africa debt that has been, which we have to pay a proportion of our money to, whether it be France, England or whoever, just for the fact that we got our independence. This is unfair and it needs to stop. So that if we didn't have that debt, that money could be pumped back into our own countries. Africa has everything it needs. It has gold. In Nigeria we have oil. Other countries have diamonds. The resources are there. So why do we need to rely on anybody else?
Is this the reason why Africa is in so much problems? It's got so much resources which everyone else needs to survive. Hence, it might be difficult to free Africa.
Yes. It is, but I don't give up hope. I hope that, I pray that it'll be done in my lifetime, that things will turn around, and there has to be a move away from reliance on one type of commodity as well. Like Nigeria relies heavily on oil, but then there's agriculture that could be introduced. There is technology that could be introduced. We need to be exporting our goods to other countries, and I think that that we are in a kind of a tech bubble at the moment, which we could take advantage of. There's like I said, the agriculture and things like that could be taken advantage of. Then relying on the old commodities that have been used to keep us in shackles, So there's a lot that can be done. Okay. There's a lot that can be done.
Okay, thank you very much. At the match, I met so many different people who actually shared their thoughts. So we're going to go back to meet some more and hear what they have to say.
Yeah, man, blessed love. This is New Flow up on the ends, not representing for Ben TV. Yes, So we're saying now we're here agitating for the rights of the Africans being held as slaves in Libya. We know it's not just Libya, it's all over the world. We've been held in bondage. This is just a leaked footage that what we have. What has surfaced. So what we have said now, we as black people must come together now and unite as one, so these things cannot happen, because we're still being tortured and perished and sold as slaves in 2017, which is unacceptable and barbaric. So we say we have to come forward together now and protest, and it does make sense. Yes, because we stand for something or you fall for anything, and that's what we are saying. So we want ones and ones to come together and unite under one umbrella, one voice. You hear me? Because we, the Africans, are the mighty and the strongest race of them all. The only thing we lacking is unity. So I, New Flower, cry out for all ones and ones to put denomination aside and come together as one body, as a collective, as a people. Because the Indian man unite, the Chinese man unite, the Asian unite. The only race that does not unite is the black African race. So we are saying we have to do it now. If we don't do it now, we will die, like our forefather Marcus Garvey said to it. I last year the first, live it and reign it. Blessed.
Cool, yeah, we go by the name of Ghana boys. I go by the name of UK Bogger, them all.
Yeah, my name is Amko Kuji, it's known as King K, and
I go by the name Mala Fresh Handy. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we all heard the news about the Libya situation. Come on, we're all in 2017.
Yeah.
This thing's not meant to be going on, you know, like it's an old thing, 1950s and stuff. And then coming in 2017 is really shocking, isn't it? So we're coming out here today to, you know, try to support all our friends and stuff from, you know, other African countries that are in Libya, you know. We're stop to this, man. We're not for sale, do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So we're supporting it, yeah, man,
That's
sure.
what we got to say, innit? That's what we got to say.
Yeah, man, sure. It's going on, boys.
Okay, welcome back. We're still talking about the enslavement of black people in Libya. And what would you like to say to all the people that have supported you so far?
I would like to say thank you. It was great and amazing that you guys came out to this march, and you know, it was such a cold day. Thank God it didn't rain. It rained the next day, which was like, wow, thank God. And yeah, and it was amazing to see such support from everybody from all different communities. And it was just an amazing place to be, and that you created history and you were part of history, and that won't be forgotten. And I did say to Kofi that I just hope and wish that there would be some way that anybody that is now suffering in Libya will know that people came out today for you and on the streets, and they made themselves heard, and they gave you a voice, and that's what I would like to.
Okay, well, on that note, here is Info Corner. Okay, welcome back. That was the Info Corner. Remember, if you have any valuable information you want to share with us, do not hesitate to contact us. Our email address is on the screen right now, so is our WhatsApp number. Well, all I have to do now is to say a big thank you to my guests for joining me today. I thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being here.
Okay, you did a wonderful job, and I trust that you know, you would get to where you intend to.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be playing now with a song from Casey Posey featuring Janae. It's called United States of Africa, a song dedicated solely to these atrocities happening in Libya. As I always say to you, whatever you do, remember you stay on the mega way.
Motive. This song is dedicated to the victims of the slave trade in Libya. We are one Africa. Let us all come together as one. Light it up, let it shine. Let the world know this is our time. Africa, come alive.